Hello and good morning, everyone. Today we'll be over here because the sun is so bright that it made my white wall very shiny and bright. And as you know, cameras and light don't mix very well. Before we dive into today's message, I want to discuss the current events. The reason I've been gone for so long is because I've been thinking about this a lot and how to give you guys hope even when I'm not sure what to expect was very difficult. So rather than give you guys a false message or a happy, message and just forget the facts of everything and try to help you guys feel safe and secure, I decided to take a break, let things play out, and then give you guys a more positive and hopefully reassuring message. What I want to give you guys is hope. That's why we need to believe and trust God. He is all knowing, and He is who we put our faith in. If you have been on this earth long enough, you will find out that putting your faith in people will always lead to disappointment for the most part. It's very difficult to put your trust and faith in the humans who are fallible creatures and by nature tend to mess things up, either intentionally or unintentionally. So all I can tell you guys right now is buckle up, have faith in God, and He's got you. The US belongs to Him. The world is His. And I know people will want to debate, well, God lets this happen, lets that happen. He's not a very kind or loving God if He lets this happen to children or whatever. God is mysterious. He works in mysterious ways. We don't know why He allows bad things to happen to good people. We don't know why things happen for a specific reason that He knows about. But what we do know is this: every struggle, every trial is a test of our faith and character to Him. And all I can say is, I would rather look back and say that I did the right thing when the right time came, instead of saying, I wish I did something better or different. That's why, regardless of how people treat me, I try to treat them better. In the end, I'm the one that suffers, but at least I can say I did the right thing. So, looking at the world today, there is a lot of things changing. And we hear a lot of rumors, we hear a lot of things that we lean towards not understanding or comprehending or just having questions. Right now, there's information out there that's giving us more questions than answers. And I'm not on either side of the information. Both sides have holes because not everything has come out yet. And honestly, I'm getting kind of frustrated because in history you will find that when we deal with executions, when we deal with um, putting people to the death sentence, we read them their rights first. We read out publicly what they've done, and then we execute them publicly. I know there's a lot of hype about how people have died or there's been executions behind the scenes, and that's why it leads to a lot of speculation because it's concerning that all of a sudden we have done something new. People die all the time but aren't actually dead. And so it raises a lot of suspicions, it raises a lot of questions, and there aren't many answers until everything plays out. Which is why, for me, I got a difficult time wrapping my head around all this stuff because there's so many holes and it's just a mess. So what I can tell you is listen to the information, do your own research, but remember something very important. God has a plan for everyone's life, okay? And in everyone's life, I would say lives, but wording is very important. Everybody's got a life to lead. And God has a plan for everybody. The one thing that gets me in trouble is that I believe that mankind, was not put on the earth to govern over people. And the Bible is very specific. The original intent was for us to worship Him. He gave us free will. And what we did with that was we created kings, we created lords, we created wealthy people. And we lost sight of God because it became a government, it became the king's rule. Now, God was gracious and He allowed us to have our kings and so forth, but He gave us one rule that follows that. Obey the law of the land unless it goes against Him. The government has been going against God for many, many years, and no one's lifted a finger, at least not publicly. So I get myself in trouble by saying that we're not supposed to govern for people. There's not supposed to be a government. The reason I say that is because when the humans took over and made their own rules, we got slavery. We got a lot of nasty things that wasn't beneficial to society. And we get a lot of slander, we get a lot of other issues and more controversial subjects and topics because of our sinful natures. So if we just would have stayed and worshiped God, then none of this would be happening. We wouldn't have false kings, we wouldn't have false prophets, we wouldn't have people, you know. We wouldn't have a lot of evil kings either, but because we have free will, we have a lot of these issues. And so because I don't believe in government, as a Christian, I believe in God. I believe He is the highest power on earth and in the universe. So when people hear that I don't believe in having a government, they immediately go to, you're an anarchist. Not understanding that the concept of being a Christian means you believe in a higher power, higher than humans. That's authority. I believe in God's authority. I don't believe in humans' authority. Okay? So because of that, you get called an anarchist for having a belief in God instead of humans. Go figure. So, a lot of chaos, a lot of confusion going on right now, and I want to give you guys hope. As Christians, our faith belongs with God, not with humanity. Reason being is because a lot of humans have destroyed that. Now, we can bring it back. Absolutely. We can try and restore that and give people reasons to have faith in humanity. Okay, sure. That's what we're trying to do. But as of right now, we need to have faith in God and trust in His judgment and His plan for us. That He will deliver us as long as we stay faithful to Him. So that's what I believe. I believe that the government's created corruption. I believe that the power that the humans created for themselves corrupted them. Instead of being pure like with God. God's power is pure and He doesn't use it for malicious intent. Unlike us. So that's why I don't believe in government, because the Bible is very clear that we are to worship God and only God. And Jesus set us free from sin by dying for us. The government wants to enslave. That's the purpose. We know this. We know that we have to work in order to keep things, and that's not the way it was supposed to be. We came here for freedom. Our rights and our freedom have been taken away for many years, decades, in fact. We let it happen. That's the sad part. We let this happen. We let all this happen to us and our children. No one fought. So that's my take on what's going on today. As for the message, I decided to go with something that's fitting. Character and principles. Now, these two things are very important to have, not just in humanity, but also in ourselves. Your character is tested daily. How you handle certain conflicts, or all conflicts. Your perspective, everything. Your character speaks volumes when it's consistent. So that means good and bad. For example, a guy who has a good character, people know him very well, or people know her very well, you know. It could be just somebody who has a reputation because of their character, and it's a good one. But out of nowhere does something out of character. Maybe says something, maybe does something totally new to everybody and shocks people. Okay? Would that be a reason to block said person or cut said person out of your life because that person let you down once or said something out of character or did something out of character? No, but we do it. We also ignore said person because it's out of character. Now understand that maybe somebody doesn't have character to wake you up and realize what you're doing to this person is now being done back to you. People have breaking points. People's characters sometimes need to take a different turn or a different shape to get people to realize how you treat me is how I'm going to treat you now. I've been nice, I've been polite, I've been true to myself, and it's getting us nowhere in this relationship, in this situation. I'm going to take charge and show you why this is wrong. Sometimes that person will wake up and help you out and realize and say that they're sorry and realize that they were wrong and treat you that way. But other people will not, and they'll keep doing it. They'll say they're sorry, but they won't actually mean it. And that's just their own character. Principles, standards, not bad things to have. These are things that keep you in line with your character. Your morals and values are also included in this as well. And I want to remind you guys of your characters, your morals, your values, because this is a time where people are forgetting who they are. And I'm getting really, really tired of looking on YouTube, listening to music, and then all of a sudden an ad pops up. Sometimes it's a female, sometimes it's a male, telling you how to get a date through either mind manipulation or through a technique that's borderline hypnosis. These are issues I'm having with social media, all these places that think that, and don't just tell a person how you feel. No. You want to manipulate them and control the outcome so that you know how that date's going to end. I'm getting tired of it. Why are we having these commercials that promote dating and stuff through manipulation, through smoke and mirrors, or control? Do you really need to hypnotize somebody to get a date? To get a girl to talk to you or a guy to talk to you? Really? That's how far we're falling? I have a hard time coming up with videos because I don't have the inspiration sometimes. Sometimes it's just been difficult. But then I go through these situations and I'm thinking, I gotta do it now. I have to get this off my chest and let people know we're better than this. We don't need to manipulate people to get a date or even get somebody to talk to us. It's supposed to be where you go over and you say hi, somebody says hi back. But today we don't have that because the internet. It's given us the option to say nothing. And I think that's rude. It's rude to not say hi to somebody. It's fine if you're busy, I get that. But you could meet somebody very interesting just by saying hi back. Face to face, people also ignore you when you say hi. I was working one day and a black guy came over to me. He said, "Hi, how are you?" And I said, "Hi, I'm doing good." You know, told him what I was up to with my job and stuff. And the guy just looked very happy. He told me, "I just moved here, and you are the first person that has said hi to me." And then he got really upset because I'm the first person since he moved here. And I just told him, "Yeah, I can understand that." He says, "Is it because I'm black?" I said, "No. It's because over here people are very rude and they don't care about your feelings unless, well, they don't care about feelings unless it's their own." And that's when he was like, "Man, you have a good day." I said, "You too, man." Just stuff like that makes me feel like we have failed as a society. I mean, so many people are talking about don't exclude black people, don't exclude people, but yet they don't say hi to certain people. That's discrimination. I mean, I hear a lot about, don't be this, don't be that, as the people saying it are exactly that. They're doing the exact opposite. So, character, principles, morals, values, these are the things that set you apart from the average person. And this is why it's hard for you to find friends or find a good social group. It's because you'll find more people today aren't who they're supposed to be, don't know who they are. They think they do because of what social media says, but not what God says about them. He created them for a certain purpose, reason, a certain life. They don't even know about that. That's the sad part. But as I think about this and process it more, even I get challenged. And I start feeling like, what's the point? How many people should listen to me? My friends didn't. You know how many countless girls I tried helping that didn't listen? Didn't understand what I was getting at? A lot of things I was talking to them about went over their heads. I got along with guys. I can get along pretty much with any guy, okay? Even if he's gay, all right? Because they just seem more easy to get along with. Girls, they're so hyped up on defensiveness and just always on the attack. At least in my experience. I could be wrong in your experience, but in mine, that's what I've been around. And if they're not, they're looking for help, but then they don't want the help that you're providing because it's work. And that saddens me because life is work. Nothing comes easy. It comes to those who achieve, those who try their best. And then these people want to date. Character, principles, morals, values. Think about those for a minute. What do they mean to you? What are principles in your life? What are your standards for friends, spouse, a person you want to date? So many people right now, they don't want to be alone, so they will grab anybody that'll help them feel some kind of company, even if it's bad company. The only company that misery likes is miserable company. There is no saying about good company brings good company. Misery loves company. So if you're miserable, you want company. No, but the company may not want you. People right now are focusing on all the negatives and the bads of life, and they're focusing on their faults and weaknesses. And I need you guys to start focusing more on the positives and what you're good at. I want to bring out your confidence. I want to help you understand stuff and move forward in your lives. I don't want you hung up on the past. I don't want you thinking about what somebody said to you 5 years ago or 10. I want you guys focusing on what people say to you now, what I say to you. People that find value in you, you put stock in. People who bring you down or make you feel like you aren't good enough, you don't need. I'm taking my own advice here because I'm cutting ties myself currently. It's hard. I'm struggling with it, but it's time. I can only do so much for these people, and I've invested, and honestly, it's draining. And I don't want you guys feeling drained anymore. I would love to one day get a church going and meet people who I inspired, or meet people who, would tell me, you know what, God's got you and you're gonna find somebody, and I can tell because of your videos. I would love to hear that. Or I'd love, to have lots of girls swarm me and tell me, we watched you and we agree with you. That would mean a lot to me. Even if it's not just a specific topic, if it's just general, I don't care. To know that I've reached people and helped people through their hard times would mean the world to me. And I was in the store the other day and I was thinking to myself, why do I continue? Why do I want to fight? Why do I want to be better? Would life be easier and better if I just did what everyone else is doing and lied to myself, denied my character, and just went with the flow? No, it's a trap. But the hard thing is when you see the trap, but you're debating if you still go with it or not. These are thoughts you're going to have if you don't have them already. And you're going to start thinking, what is the point of life? What's the point of what I'm doing? What's the point, what is the point in my life? What is my focus? What's my goals? And then you get discouraged because you find out that some of your goals can't happen because, well, you have absurd laws going on in this current time, or you have people in your way, or you can't achieve your goals until people find you and recognize you and get you where you need to go. And all that's difficult. I mean, come on, you can't get a job unless they want to hire you. So again, your future, your life is in somebody else's hands. That's what I'm talking about. And so you get very discouraged. Well, who would want to hire me? Who would want to be around me? Who would want to love me or care about me? You get all these different thoughts, negativity, and it just spirals out of control. Now, I've had these thoughts before, but I've always been able to bounce back because my family has been my foundation. They've been there for me through the thick and thin. And there are times when my parents will tell me, you still got a long ways to go. You have this to work on or that to work on. And I take it a lesson, But at the same time, my whole thought is let them talk, prove them wrong. This is what they think. This is what they see. Once you actually get people around you and a girlfriend, wait for those times when they're talking to her and her saying all these great things about you and how you've handled this or that and shown your character. Then your parents will be like, oh, okay. Probably. Mine will be very proud, of course, but they'll shrug it off. Or they may admit that I worked on some stuff behind the scenes, in my room or away from them, and who knows. But in my family, we like to joke around and we like to mess with each other. So for me, my whole thing is I listen to my parents and I hear what they're planning or what they think about me, and I throw a wrench in their plans if I can help it. If they're right, and I'll admit that. But if I feel like they're wrong, then I'll prove them wrong. Um, Politely, of course, and with respect. It's just out of humor and making sure that I'm doing my job and my part. But part of my character is that I will admit when I'm wrong. Um, but when my mind's made up and I'm gung ho about something and I feel a certain way and I don't feel like I handled it wrong, it will take somebody to talk to me about it because I have not admit that I'm wrong unless I feel or know I'm wrong because I'm that decisive. That's my character. That's who I am. You can call it stubbornness. That's fine, but this is just how I work. I do my best not to second guess myself. I make it a habit not to. So when I make a decision, the decision will be final unless I have either doubts or I feel like it might not be the best call at this time. But when it comes to somebody's character, you also have to have the insight and the willingness to not just analyze that person's character as they speak or as you work with them, but also you have to try to understand them and get to know them. Not just likes and dislikes and that kind of stuff, but also understand their thought process, understand their heart, why they do what they do. And then you have faith in that person because of what they love to do or act like. If they bring confidence to the table, then odds are they have reasons to be confident. If they bring arrogance to the table, then that's just them projecting the person they wish they were. Now, there's a difference between arrogance and confidence, and it's a good fine line. And in somebody's character, that's very important to find out. Somebody's overconfident, has an ego, but it's how they use that ego. It's the right time and moment. If they use that ego in a negative light to make themselves bigger than somebody else or appear better than somebody else, then you can tell it's insecurities. Okay? Or if they're so fired up, just very excited and ready for something, that they start talking about how good they are. That's just them pumping themselves up for the task at hand. Or they can just tell, or it's about how they come off. If they come off a little bit more aggressive, then probably insecurities. If they come off a little bit more passive aggressive, then it's probably true. Or if they talk about it calmly, which, oddly enough, I have done. I have talked about something good at calmly, and somebody took it as arrogance, and it's like, no, that's confidence. I have nothing to prove to you. I'm just speaking a simple fact. However, if you want a demonstration, I will give you one. And then you will feel very, very insecure about your lack of understanding about people. and general knowledge of how to see the differences between arrogance and confidence. And I got no problem with that. I got no problem making somebody feel stupid when they speak out of ignorance or speak out of just pure insecurities. Again, part of my character, right or wrong. Could I tone it down? Depends on the situation. A lot of things that I do depends on the situation presented to me. Not everything's always cut and dry, black or white. There are tactics that will work for some things that work for others. And you've got to be able to understand yourself first before you can try to understand somebody else. You also have to first love yourself in order to love somebody else. If you hate yourself, then you're not going to love somebody else. I'm saying that because I have friends who hate themselves and try to love others and it doesn't work. They fail at it. Have I told them that? Politely, at times. I don't want to crush their hopes and dreams or make them feel like they can't love. I want them to get better at it. So I encourage them on what they could do better. And that's why it comes down to tact when you have to tell somebody certain things to help them get back on the right track or to understand something. Delicately put is one of the most important things in a relationship or when having a friend who's sensitive. I'm a blunt person, so coming off gently, I have to find out first if the person is fragile or not. And that comes with trying to analyze that person's weaknesses and strengths, personalities, everything. Again, just what I do, you do you. But I'm hoping that in talking about how I deal with certain people, it would help you understand as well. Um, as you can tell, I have put a lot of thought into this, and a lot of things have been bugging me lately. So I thought maybe now would be the best time to do video and get my thoughts out there, get my feelings out, and just hope that it helps somebody else in the same situation right now. Um, Relationships aren't easy. They make it more difficult if the person you're having a relationship, friendship, whatever with makes it hard on you. Find somebody with a character who tries to make peace with you instead of causing strife or wanting to be on the defensive all the time. I love negotiations. So, as a negotiator, what I hate hearing is no's and maybes. I don't like being shut down. I like having freedom to work or to make things up to somebody I have wronged, especially that someone is my girlfriend or wife. I want that opportunity to make things right. Um, and even if you say no, I'm still going to try and see if there's any wiggle room, if that's a solid no, or if it's a test of what I'll do. Because women love to say no, and then they want to see if you get defeated or if you're going to challenge. If you're going to challenge, then they want to play along sometimes. Sometimes they don't. But it's difficult today because most interactions I have with females is they're so just disconnected and uninterested in talking to men. Um, I can say that because it's been numerous girls, but also I know why. Women right now, they're scared and they protect themselves from being hurt, especially if they've been in relationships that are harmful to them or have been deeply wounded by relationships. So, um, it's kind of a mess if you think about it. And I want to give females hope that there are guys out there that will think about them and their feelings and their emotions and work with them, understand them. I don't know if you'll find a guy that can relate to those. Um, I personally have a hard time relating to people who have chose have chosen to do things that I know are wrong or I know the outcome of, and then they complain about it. I have a hard time relating to people with that kind of concept, and so I'm not the best person to go to when you're one of those kind of people to learn the hard way. Um, that's just a fact because I have a hard time relating to that, and to me, I'm not gonna call it out or make you feel stupid for it. It's just I have a hard time wrapping my head around why you would want to do that or why you would want to go down that path or take that kind of chance. I listen and I sympathize, but I can't relate. So sometimes my responses can become kind of, blunt or helpful, but in a different kind of way. Um, where it's okay, so it's basically the truth hits them a little too hard. That's the bluntness. And even if it's helpful knowledge and stuff like that, they don't take it as helpful knowledge because of the kind of state they're in. Just stuff I learned over time as well. So that's why I have tried being more tactful and more gentle with certain people before I find out that they actually are ones that can take a hit with truth or stuff of that nature. And I gotta say, I have done a lot of research with people. I've said a lot of different kinds of people, and I love it. I love getting to know different kinds of people and their thought processes and what makes them them. And I gotta tell you, we need to find out how many more intellectuals are on this planet. That would be an amazing study, and I will be doing that now because why not? It's one I haven't done, and it's one that would help with the statistics of picking somebody or helping people understand who around them is an intellectual and who's not. And not being one is not a bad thing so much. It is just it makes it difficult on not just you but those around you. Um, I like people who can put their feelings, thoughts into words and actions. I don't typically get along with the people who keep things bottled up inside and don't talk. They don't even tell you how their day is, you know. I like people who like to talk and who give you things to go off of, who give you, intel or insight into their personal life or what they think, and what they think about and how they think about it. It gives me hope. It gives me an idea of where I can see this person fitting in my life. Somebody who keeps themselves, keeps quiet, and won't even give you a hi or, tell you when something's wrong, you can't be there for that person. And it really makes it difficult for you to have that kind of in-depth conversation or relationship. And it's even worse if that person likes you but doesn't tell you. And then gets mad at you because you talk to other people who talk to you. And it gets messy. So, believe me, I've been through a lot of different types of people. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. And hopefully there are people out there that can relate to this video. Um, so the purpose for doing this video wasn't just to talk about what I've been thinking about and what's been on my mind and my heart and what's been annoying me this past, few months, 2 months now, but also talk about I want you guys to focus on values, okay? What you value and who you value. Your character and your principles and what those mean to you. What principles do you have? What character traits do you like about yourself or hate about yourself? What do you want to fix? What do you want to put more effort into? Um, I just want to give you guys a general idea of, hey, here's something to think about. And I'll let you guys know, I will also let you guys know that you don't need these commercials about mind control or how to manipulate somebody to have a date or um, use hypnosis to get a date. You don't need these kind of techniques. If what's coming out is true about the brainwashing processes and stuff that they've done and experimentations on, the American people and people of the whole world, then it'll make you think that brainwashing is sick, demented, and just not something you want to do on somebody that you just met or somebody you actually like a lot. So refrain from doing those kind of things. I also want to get that out there today because I can't handle seeing these kind of commercials all the time. Hey, check out this technique. You'll get, this from the girl you like, or you'll get a response from a girl you text if you send her this message. It bothers me. It really bothers me. At first, I sat down and listened to this guy because I was curious, because girls are hard to talk to, and a lot of them choose to be hard to talk to. So for me, it was like, okay, what do you got? But of course, you don't get the full information until you pay for it. It's just him talking about his experience with this technique or whatever. And honestly, why do we have this? Why? Why do we need this? Whatever happened to, hey, I like you. Do you want to date me? We've been friends for a while, you know. I want to try something new. Are you down? That kind of thing. If you get rejected, you get rejected. If you don't, you don't. It's that simple. But nowadays, the technology's taken over and people have more social anxiety because they have technology to go to where they can type on their computers, their phones, and not interact. So the social anxiety doesn't kick in, and therefore they don't actually get to have the interaction that their bodies actually need. Their brains, their eyes. They don't have the stimulation of being with somebody, having that physical contact or interaction with somebody face to face. And so their bodies don't naturally develop those social skills. And so they keep having these social anxieties. They don't get over it, they don't get past it because the technology just enables them. They don't become better or learn how to deal with it. So I wanted to get that out there today because I'm tired of hearing about these commercials. If you like a girl, go talk to her. Like a guy, go talk to him. Me personally, I like direct approaches. I don't know about you, but I love a girl that'll come up to me and go, you know what? I've noticed this and this and this about you, and honestly, I wouldn't say I'm blown away, but I do like what I see, and I would like to continue observing that or maybe going out for coffee. Being that kind of direct will get a good response from me. Okay. You want to learn how to get a guy's response or guy's good reaction, something like that. If they like directness. I do. I know lots of girls that don't like directness. They like subtle movements or whatever. They like little games. And honestly, okay, if that's what you're into, it's not for me. I don't do subtle. Never really have. I mean, I can play along, or I can do something that's kind of cute, but it will only work if the girl actually play along. Um, and most guys, they know what I'm talking about. They see a girl who looks kind of playful, looks, like she would be okay with a certain cute act that you don't practice often, that it's not something that's in your book of tricks, but you're thinking, I will try it and see what happens. And no, she's one of those shy, quiet types that doesn't do anything or talk to anybody. Or she's one of those rude people who just ignores you. I'm thinking about so many guys I know that have tried those. And we talk about them a lot after the fact. Why didn't you go for it? Don't know. Don't know. Because we all know the story. If a girl tried to be cute or tried doing something that was, funny or, kind of like adorable, or would use a certain line or phrase, that guy would be like, cool, you're interested, And he'd talk to her. But a guy going out of his way, out of his comfort zone, all right, to try something that either a friend said or a girl mentioned, girls like this, you know, it just sets them for failure because not all girls play by the same rules. But the guys typically play by the same rules, just a nice quiet conversation maybe, or just, a situation that doesn't require drama. You'll get his attention. Girls I knew, they tried to overcomplicate it to get a guy's attention, um, which I found very cute. But these days, I don't know very many who have tried to get a guy's attention. I know some that told me that they can get a guy's attention. They tell me how, and that's going to work. I know that because they have experience with guys and trying to get their attention. But the girls that don't, you know, it makes it very difficult because right now, not a lot of people are trying out things and finding themselves, finding what they're good at, finding what conversations work, what don't, what tricks will work of the trade. They just instead go off of ads talking about hypnosis. I'm not sure many people buy into that, but just know it's out there right now. It makes me sick. It makes me sick. Get some confidence, walk up to somebody, and just tell them what you want. They say no, they say no. Go find somebody else. It's so simple. I've covered dating videos before, but I didn't cover this kind of topic. And when it comes to your morals, you've got to find somebody that's going to benefit from those morals or also complete those morals and understand them and respect you for them. That's the key. If you get standards, morals, values, you need somebody who's going to respect them and not try to change your mind on things. Um, it's difficult because we live in a world where people demand respect, but they're not going to respect you. Not at all, man. Um, and it's a headache. You get into a lot of headaches. But as I'm thinking about all this stuff, and I'm thinking of different concepts, and I'm wondering about different plays you could make to get better results than through hypnosis or whatnot, a thought occurred. Have faith in yourself. believe in yourself, believe in your future, believe that God has you, believe that you're gonna be able to succeed in life. And then I remember a conversation I was having with a friend of mine over a online call. She asked me, "What would you do if you found the right one? What would you do if she came up to you?" And I told her this: be myself. If she leaves, she leaves. If she leaves, then she wasn't the right one, because the right one will take the good and the bad and work with me on them. Because being a team player means you're going to benefit your teammates. And being part of a team means you are committed to helping your team win and succeed. If one of you is weak, then you have to work twice as hard. Okay, so in this concept, I basically just told her that I am me, I am who I am, and I'm not changing for anybody. I'm not gonna act differently because I found the right one. I'm still being me. You do change for certain people, but you need to understand what to change and what not to change. For example, if the person you're with wants you to change your foundation for her or for him, no. If it's beneficial, if it's been helping you, if it's been the right thing, then why change it? I'm not saying that if it works, keep it. I'm saying if it pleases God, and if it's something that you made it part of you, that's been there for, since you were a kid or whatnot, I'm saying your standards, your morals, your values, basically. Don't change those for anybody. Okay? Don't settle. You want somebody that either meets your the bar you set or exceeds it. You want somebody there. You don't want somebody down here who's going to be talking to you and trying to get you to change your standards so you can. No, just no, don't. It's not worth it. Um, be who you are. Nothing wrong with being you. Being weak is nothing to be ashamed of. Staying weak brings you shame. Staying vulnerable brings you problems. Self-improvement is what you need to do. If you could be better at something, do it. If you know what you can do to improve, then do it. That's the purpose. That's what you need to be focused on. So find somebody that will help you succeed in your path or your future or in your goals. Don't find somebody who's going to tell you, yeah, that's a great goal, but do this instead. No. If you're going to support somebody in their dreams, they need to support you in yours. And you two need to be on the same page, communicate, and focus on not necessarily making each other happy, but making life easier on each other. I think you'll win if that's your focus. And I think that you will both be very happy with the results. Um, and if anybody ever asks you that question, what would you do if you met the right one? Tell them just be yourself. See what happens. That response made my friend give me a And that's it. So, because it was unexpected. Focus on being unexpected, adapting to your situations, your environment, focus on working towards a good goal that's going to help you succeed and help either your family, your significant other. I don't like using that term, but just anybody you're with, that you care about, succeed. Be supportive, because that's what's important. You want somebody who's level-headed, emotionally and physically. Emotionally, well, it was emotionally, mentally, and physically stable. Okay? Because mental health is important, emotional health is very important. You don't want anybody who has got toxic or traumatic baggage. You want to find somebody who benefits you and helps you become a better person. That's why you date that person. That's why you choose that person. Not because your heart got involved, but because you can see a future. Because you can understand that person. You're like, this is going to be great. I know this person. That person knows me. We're going to make everything right. If you're with somebody who tells you they love you and then the next day is mad at you because of what somebody said that didn't happen, you know, you will find out how thin that love is pretty quick. When you talk to somebody that you care about, who cares about you, and then after you're done talking to them, the next time you talk to them, they're mad or upset because of what somebody else has said or because of something you did or didn't do necessarily. But you're not a mind reader, you didn't know. It's not those obvious things like you forgot the birthday or anniversary. It's you didn't ask this question, you didn't. It's that kind of stuff. It's not worth it because the love that that person has for you is paper thin, and it'll mess with your moral compass because you'll start thinking about the outcome of leaving that person, not on your end, from that person's end, and you'll think if you endure it, it'll be better. Until you just can't take anymore, and then what? It's not easy having a heart. It's not easy being nice. It's not easy caring about somebody who doesn't care too much about you in the same concept, in the same context as you. And if you're one of those kind of people that works hard in a relationship and gets the other thing back, or works hard and doesn't feel appreciated by somebody, red flags. That's not gonna change. It's not. If they're consistent, it won't change. And consistencies are very important when picking somebody. It's very important when you are around people. Because if something that's bad is consistent, it's a red flag. If something that's inconsistent that's good, it's also another red flag. So just be mindful. Do your best to spend time studying that person. That's the best advice I can give you. And just trust God through this thing we're going through. God's got us. We are His children. He will never leave us nor forsake us. So just believe in Him. Believe His words. Trust Him. And you'll be surprised what happens. Now, the last video I made was in January. I believe it was January 4th. And I told you that wouldn't it be something if this was the year that we got rid of all the corruption? And then boom, it happens. Or so we're hearing it's happening. I mean, but still, it's pretty cool if this is the year that we get rid of all the corruption and, we bring God and Ten Commandments and all the stuff that we used to practice back into our society. Um, it may help encourage men to be men and encourage women to be women and ladies to come back and the gentlemen to come back. Um, I would love that. I would love to be around more people like me who feel the same way I feel, and I can talk to them about stuff that makes sense. Um, Instead of worrying about whom to offend, by talking the truth. I hope this is a very encouraging video for you. I hope that you guys get more out of it. I know I talked about my personal issues, but just what I'm thinking about. And I love doing these kind of videos because sometimes I can process it better, talking about it with you guys. And I would love to hear if you guys have the similar issues, or you know you guys have questions or answers, or hey, just I agree, I'm in the same boat, and what you say makes sense. Um, well, I've been on my break. I've been talking to people online and calls and stuff, and helping them understand concepts of gentlemen and ladies and what makes that kind of stuff up. I've been enjoying having conversations and enlightening people on just how much we're lied to and how much people have been deceived, um, and kind of bring back the culture that we once were so proud of. So I really enjoy thinking about this and getting pumped up to do this video because honestly, I need to do one. So much is on my chest right now. So much is going through my mind, and I just had a hard time trying to figure out how to put it all together. The inspiration, what this video is going to be on, just everything. So I really appreciate you guys sticking with me through the long break. And I will continue to try and get some videos out for you guys. I'm just trying to process some stuff right now and work through some personal issues. But prayer is welcome. I appreciate your support and kindness. I just want you guys to understand where I'm coming from, and I hope you guys can either relate or have at one point been there or seen what I've seen, or know somebody who's been through what I've been through, or going through. I just really appreciate having this way of communicating and getting my thoughts out. It's been healthy for me, and I hope it's been healthy for you guys too. Um, there are days when we just need to talk and have people that will listen. Um, my family's good at that. My mom and I talk all the time. I have people I can talk to. It's just refreshing to be able to put my issues, my thoughts, my feelings out there, and also bring in God and show how He's working and things He's teaching me. Um, there are times when we have thoughts of doubt that will crush our self-esteem and make us feel like, what, why even try anymore? Why am I here? Why am I still trying to succeed or get involved in things when I feel so discouraged and I feel so alone? And there are people who deal with that alone. They don't talk about it, they don't get it out, and they just dwell on it. I'm not one of those people. I think about it, I chew on it for a while, and I think, what can I do to get out of this? What can I do to inspire myself or to move past it? And once I find the solution, I get out of it, I'm fine. I have moods like everybody else where we go through thinking maybe this is it, or maybe I'm not trying hard enough. Maybe it's me, maybe it's somebody else. But in the end, what we do, that is our character. That is what makes us us, okay? And makes us unique. It makes us have our own unique way of getting things done and processing stuff. Sure, people can do it like us. People have maybe similar methods, or maybe they do it the same way, but point is, those are things that are special to you. And I want you guys to really think hard about what morals you live by, what principles help you stand up straight. What is your character? Who are you? What is it you do best? Are you proud of who you are? Do you like who you see in the mirror every day? Do you like looking in the mirror at all? Do you appreciate your gifts, your talents, or do you waste them? Do you hold yourself to a high standard, or do you hold yourself to a too low of a standard? Or do you hold yourself to a high expectation not even you can meet? You need to answer these questions for yourself. And you've got to be there for the people that matter to you. But you first have to think about who you are, how you function, how you think, how you operate. Can you live with yourself for things that you've done? Can you live with yourself knowing that you're going to move forward and grow, get smarter, become wiser, hopefully even stronger as time goes on? With as much fear as we're seeing right now would be the perfect time to get right with God. Now would be the perfect time to ask Him for forgiveness for things that you can think about, anything at all that you think, man, I just didn't do it. I didn't do things correctly. I didn't work hard enough on this, or I didn't have the resistance against lust or the sin that I'm thinking of. You know, now would be the right time to focus on where you are with God and where you need to be. I think it's important that we take time and really focus on our walk with God and talk to Him often, because He listens even when you think He doesn't. And right now, we need more hope. So I encourage you to have that hope by going to Him. You'll feel better when you pray. You'll feel better when you repent. You will feel better bringing Him into your life more because you have that security. I think about it a lot. How cool it's going to be to have my name in the book of life. I mean, technically my name is already there because of King David, but my own. To have my name there. based off of my relationship with Him, my trust in Him, my belief, and what I've done with it, and how He's helped me succeed. That's what I think about. And you should too. If you feel compelled to, then after this video, start praying. God's our focus. And honestly, it's the best focal point you can have because there's no drama. It's just feeling His love, His grace and mercy pour over you. Him tell you it's going to be okay. He does take our burdens from us, like it or not. There are some burdens that He will just lift off of us and help us sleep if we pray at night. He does help us in many, many ways that we don't give Him credit for. So I encourage you to think hard about these things I've talked about. Spend more time with God. Talk to Him. Read your Bible, if you got one. And if you know how to read it. If you don't have a Bible and you want one, I recommend the King James Version. It is the closest to the original Bible, and you'll get the right context. We have found some Bibles that are missing verses or are being rewritten to fit the narrative of society, replacing he with they, and so on and so forth. It's missing words, basically, and it's being substituted and having words substituted into it. So, King James Version is the one you want. And let's not be silent. Christians are not supposed to sit by and watch when things aren't right. And as the American people, neither are we. America wasn't founded by cowards. We fought to be here. We fought for our freedom. And we forgot about it. So thank you all for listening. Thank you for clicking on the video. Thank you for being here. And thank you for your support. I appreciate it. I've just been going through some stuff, and that's why this video was very important to me and getting it all out, because maybe what I'm going through is going to help somebody else who's going through the same thing, and maybe what I'm talking about registers and helps them get the spine to move forward with their lives and kick some of these people out who are just dragging them down. We know what we're supposed to find and look for, but sometimes we end up settling for people who are just there, and we forget about what our goal was in the beginning of who we want to be around. And we forget our principles too, because time. We give other people chances who abuse it. So take what I said to heart, and if you or somebody else suffers with some of these things, don't be afraid to contact me. I would be more happy to talk to you about these things and relate to you about some of these topics, and even answer some of these questions you might have. But that's about it. Thank you for listening, and I will hopefully see you guys next time. Take care.